Guys, we messed up. We did that ZBOX video from Zotac and we realized we missed quite a few upgrade potentials, so we're gonna fix that today.
Today we're gonna be maxing out this ZBOX with a new CPU, more RAM, and to see if with these upgrades we can actually maximize the performance of this PC that was being held back before by that older i5, and we'll tell you all about how to do it after word from today's sponsor.
OBSBOT and the Tiny 2 Lite webcam. At some point, you've probably heard the saying big things come in small packages, and that is definitely the case for the Tiny 2 Lite webcam. Despite its small footprint, this webcam pumps out 4K footage, AI tracking, extremely quick autofocus, and insanely good low light performance. Taking a closer look at the low light performance on the Tiny 2 Lite, I'm actually filming with it right now, and you can see behind me, the low light performance is incredible. There's really no grain whatsoever inside of this dark room, and that's really impressive considering how small this camera is. Taking a look at the camera's features, it actually has a zoom to 2x, so if you hold out this little L here, it'll actually zoom in. When you hold this again, it'll zoom back out if you don't want to get that far. It also has dynamic zoom, so when you hold it up like this, you can actually zoom in and out. So if you want to get it nailed into a nice spot, you can kind of go a little bit and all the way back out. It's pretty cool. And of course, it's got that AI tracking feature, which allows this webcam to track your face as you move around, making it perfect for gamers and streamers. Now is a perfect time to pick up the Tiny 2 Lite webcam because it's launching at a really big discount. Using code OBSBOTCAM will offer up to 22% off during Prime Day. To learn more about the OBSBOT Tiny 2 Lite webcam, check the links in the description down below. Big thanks to OBSBOT for sponsoring today's video. Now, back to you, Matt and Jackson.
While Jackson grabs a screwdriver because we're being extra productive today, we're gonna go over everything we did to upgrade this ZBOX, which we highly suggest you watch the video before that we did the initial review of this thing. It did come with an older i5 processor, like a 7400T, which is just a 4-core, 4-threaded processor, which really held back our GTX 1070 in the games that we were playing. And you guys in the comments down below said, hey, you know this thing might be a socketed CPU, right? You can actually upgrade it. Well, we took it apart on one of our streams over on twitch.tv/ToastyBros and realized we could, so we bought a couple of upgrades. This right here is an i7 7700T, which is a 4-core, 8-threaded processor we paid $50 for. Price performance is not amazing, but you know what? It's gonna be a good upgrade over the i5. And for the RAM, we got 32 gigs of DDR4 memory, dual channel. This had 16 gigs in it. I think it's single channel, so we're gonna swap out the one and put in 2 sticks so we have 32 gigs. We don't necessarily need to do that, but we're doing upgrades, so we might as well. And we'll have B-roll on screen here because I didn't do this for Jonah in the past, and I'll have to grab it in a second, is a 1 terabyte, 2.5-inch SSD. Because once you open it up, you will see that there is a spot for one, and we only had like a 256 gig SSD before.
All right, so I went ahead and, while Matt was talking, I got these 2 thumb screws out of the back here. Goal here was not to spend like stupid money, which I think all in, what did we spend?
So the entire, with the ZBOX price we paid in the upgrades, are about like $474, which I still think is pretty good for a compact build with a 1070 level performance GPU.
I honestly don't remember how this, so I
goes
took the 2 off.
this way.
Oh, it slides.
Yeah, slides
I see, look, it has the indicator. All right, so that reveals, yeah, because we opened this up on stream, we saw we have a spot for a 2.5-inch because we already have an NVMe to 256, and we're like, well, there's no reason to replace that with like a Gen 4 or anything crazy because it just won't run in Gen 4 speeds. So we're gonna add a 1 terabyte. I guess we do have dual
channel memory. Okay, so we do have dual channel, but it was 16 gigs. So we figured, you know what, we might as well go 32 while we're in here.
For the sake of science, right?
For the sake of science.
But yeah, laptop RAM. And this is 2400. Are we upgrading actually? We got a 3200. I don't know if it'll run at that.
So we'll see what it defaults to. Normally these mini PCs and laptops, we'll see what it defaults to. It may have an option in the BIOS for us to actually enable an XMP profile, but I'm gonna imagine it's gonna default to 2400.
And then for the CPU, I think we need to remove these 4. I say we already broke the warranty seal.
Yes, so tearing this apart is a little bit complicated because there are screws here, 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 and here. That's where I voided the warranty already. And then underneath this actual riser card, there's another screw underneath here that we need to take out.
Should have seen that coming, huh?
Should have seen that coming, right? But yeah, once you take this out, well, I mean, it's funny because you guys are going crazy in the comments. There is a CPU socket where you can just install a normal CPU in it, which, you know, I never would have thought with a mini PC like this, but it's coming from an era where there really wasn't a ton of like laptop CPUs in these mini PCs. That's just kind of a newer thing. This is where we forget how to put it back together. I will say we took it apart once and there was 1 extra screw after we did it. So I still have that extra screw, so we could figure out where that goes potentially, but there's a little extra screw right here.
It's a riser on a riser, Jonah.
Does it really even need that?
And it says NVMe Go on it. NVMe Go. Well, whatever this is.
Oh, okay. Is there any additional power?
Oh, this powers the fan.
Oh, what?
Yeah, look, this right here goes to this little connector, which powers the...
That's kind of creative, I guess.
Is that the GPU cooler?
Should be the GPU cooler, yes, because the CPU's on the other side, which is really weird that they use the NVMe power for GPU cooling.
Okay, so in theory, we just pull up now, right?
Oh, yep. You gotta take this off too.
Oh, okay.
So this is what's also holding it in.
Of course.
Of course, because you can't make it easy, right?
Let's forget where all these screws go, guys.
We can keep it nice and organized on our Toasty Bros build mat that you can buy today at PCBros.tech.
I'm totally doing that right now.
He's totally doing that right now.
I'm putting it where the 200mm fan goes.
Because that's exactly what these are, 200mm fans. Okay, so now this should just come off.
Look at that heatsink.
And then you see the heatsink. And then now I think...
Oh, it is the whole...
You can kind of... Oh yeah, you can just take... I honestly didn't do it like this before, but I think you can. Because I'm doing it. Just go ahead and lift this up, flip it over.
Man, look at those heat sinks.
And look at that. So I'm glad we tore this down because this is a really big heatsink setup here.
Because I know we have the fan on the other side. Is the GPU maybe cool on both sides?
It might be. That might just be an additional cooling because I'm going to assume, just based on looking, you can see the socket latch right here. This is where the CPU is. Okay. This has to be the GPU, the 1070, which people have said you can swap these out with MXM chips, but I looked up like a 1080 and they're incredibly expensive. At that point, I think you have to get a bigger power brick and everything, and the price of performance just goes downhill from there.
You can see the giant like SATA card. Then that's the actual 1070. Yeah, it's like a little riser basically.
So it's upgradable. I guess it's because Zotac would just use this one board and then just swap in other CPUs and GPUs to make it work. So.
Oh, and these are like connected. Is this even gonna come off in one piece?
Oh no, we have to take it off in both pieces.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of freaking screws here. I don't like this.
This is scary.
Because that's where it feels like there's something over here somewhere still.
Is the pad? It's like this.
Oh, is it the
pad on top of these USB ports? Maybe that's what's holding.
Is it just sticky? It feels like something. Is it the fan on the bottom?
Maybe? Oh, look, this is the fan on the bottom is held on by these screws.
No, because these would be the back plate for the. This is cool.
Is there a screw on the back anywhere?
No, but there's. I see what he's saying. There's a screw here which you guys haven't touched yet.
I haven't. I mean, I can just take it out. Well,
this one won't at least.
Well, you know what? We're already here.
Oh, whoa, we don't have to do all that.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. I don't think that's it.
Oh, look, there is 4 screws. So we're missing. Look, you can still see it screwed in right here. So we need to find that one.
Let's put that back. Let's put that back.
You can
try to start putting stuff back on that we don't need because we're gonna just struggle to put this back together.
So, oh, this fan cools the NVMe. I'm realizing. Look at that. It's a side discharge for the NVMe. Huh. So that makes sense why the NVMe powers it. I'm almost wondering if the fan needs to maybe come off. The screws.
Let's remove more screws, shall we?
Oh yeah, you know what? I bet it's definitely. I bet once I do this,
there's gonna be one hidden.
Yep. Oh wait, it's coming off.
Okay. Ah. Oh. Where did that screw go?
Oh, there's screws in the back side. Oh.
Okay, there.
So me pulling on. Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to put that on first. Okay. So here's what we got to do in reverse order. Okay.
All right. Here we go. We're explaining.
I need you guys to really follow here. We're gonna have to put these on, and remember to put these on like this, and then just leave it like that. So then once we get these tightened down, then we put the cooler on last.
Okay. I got you.
I'm gonna leave these over here. Where did that screw just go? Oh my God, it's right here. Where'd the other one go? Did you guys see it? Well, let's just get this off. I think you're ready.
The whole assembly. Oh wow, it's huge.
Here's our screw. Yeah, that is crazy.
Okay, so there we need to clean this bad boy.
And we can go ahead and get some new thermal paste on the GPU die too. This really does just look like a mini 1070 motherboard, but it's not standard PCIe, so obviously we can't just take a GPU apart and put it in there.
Hello, little 1070. How do you do? All right, guys, so there is our 7500T, which we will take out and put in our i7. Reason we went with the T processor is just because, well, the original one was a T processor, and power-wise, I didn't want to gamble with it not working. I think a non-T would work, and you might be able to save some money, but cooling-wise also, we don't have like a ton. I mean, it is pretty solid, but it's still a mini PC, so we went with the T processor. So we'll put a little on this guy right here. So we do a little bloop, and then a little less. Bloop. Always a good idea to spray the GPU paste. Even though the coolers are basically the same, it probably should have the same properties.
I'm not messing around. I want this thing to run cool.
All right, guys, so to avoid any embarrassment, we'll just rewind all the footage we just filmed, and it'll be us putting it back together, okay?
Oh, wait. Before we do that.
What did you just explain to me that I forgot?
We're gonna have to put these on.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're figuring out the screw situation.
Okay, coolers reinstalled, new thermal paste, good. All right.
All right, so now we should be able to do a little flipperoo.
Just gotta do a sandy check, you know, because we've done this before.
We have done this before. We're like, where do benchmarks like this? Okay, guys, putting the SSD back in. Everything is just smooth sailing right now. It's just fine. You know what's gonna happen is it's not gonna post because the RAM isn't compatible.
Probably.
And then we'll just think we broke something, but it's probably the RAM. I thought the RAM's the highest likelihood of having issues, but...
It is a lot faster. All right, so we're out with the 16. Matt's throwing in... I mean, this just looks nicer, too. Look at that.
It's black RAM. It's beautiful.
Teamgoup, we like it.
We like Teamgoup. Boom, easy peasy. And 32 gigs of RAM now. We gotta make sure to plug that back in. And then lastly, We have our 2.5-inch SSD from TimeTag, which you can get these things for really cheap. And again, if you wanted to, you could swap the SSD out, but I really didn't want to do the whole Windows reinstall and everything. Especially with a mini PC like this, I can see like the Wi-Fi drivers or something not working right or something just being kind of goofy. So we're just gonna go ahead and add this, which I'm assuming is just a toolless.
Oh wait, we have to take this out. I'm realizing.
Oh, it's a little, okay. So you basically use that frame. And we should just be able to do just like that. Boom, now we got a big old drive in there.
Dude, this thing is just maxed out now.
Okay, well, it's done now. Did we break it? Well, you'll see a clip of us troubleshooting if we broke it. If not, we'll be doing some testing and we'll be able to compare what benchmarks we had before, but everything should just go on now and work as long as we didn't do any, well, permanent damage to it. We'll see if these upgrades are actually worth it.
All right, guys, we are playing Apex Legends. It feels like we just did this because we kind of did, but it was obviously with the i5 less RAM, so running same settings as before. And, you know, I mean, the performance seems fairly similar so far. I'm noticing that our i7, though, is not being, like, maxed out, which I think the i5 in this game was, well, in most games.
So you could probably have a little more multitasking room in the background. And also, I will say the 7700T in this scenario is not boosting that high. It's actually running at 17 watts and only doing about 2.6, 2.8 gigahertz. Doesn't seem to be temperature related, but maybe this thing just won't let that i7 boost as high as it could, because you can go up to like 3.8 gigahertz under the right scenarios.
So maybe it's good that we got a T.
Yes. One thing we didn't need is the RAM upgrade.
No.
I'll be real with you. At least in this game, we didn't need the RAM upgrade. I'd be curious what Spider-Man is like, which, to be fair, we were more bottlenecked by the CPU than RAM, but we just did the RAM for the fun of it. Wow.
Oh my goodness, that guy has
guys are
a beam
gamers.
on it. It's time for me to become the Aguesa.
The Aguesa.
Dude, that was an insane little trace I did there.
Ooh.
We did it. Nice one. We did that quick.
Yeah. Champion,
Aiming is
baby.
on point, baby. We might give like the BIOS a little check just to make sure that everything's good, but if you don't hear anything back from us, we're just going to the next game.
Next game. Okay, guys, we're now in Spider-Man 2, which if you guys saw the last time, we were running similar settings. We are at 1080p, no upscaling on very low. We are on low, baby. And before we were getting about 30 FPS, and we're still gonna hit that, it seems like. As I'm seeing throughout the benchmarks, and see right now, when we're on 100% load, the CPU is kind of getting capped at about 2.8, 2.9 gigahertz, and the wattage is about 19 watts. So, you know, I will say it's probably just the constraints of this mini PC, because we did look in the BIOS and everything was set to have the CPU boost on its own. No cores were disabled. Everything should just be working properly, but we're getting about 30 FPS. In theory, though, we should have a little more headroom to where we could do some upscaling and actually get decent results, which I will try that momentarily if I don't die. I feel like I'm gonna die in like 2 seconds. I feel like because I'm like taking so long to progress in this game, they just keep making it harder.
I feel like before when you were fighting people, I feel like it was like sometimes in like slow motion and like freezing. So
Yeah,
this is better.
It's playable. It's playing right now. Come on, can Matt, really? Would I say it's the best experience? No, but yeah, because you die instantly. No, because it's one of those things where I would like to be at 60 FPS. It kind of feels like what I would play on like a Steam Deck. So let's go to settings here. We're on very low. We're really into the upscaling territory now. Let's turn on, not frame gen. Let's just do some FSR 3, new performance, because I feel like we're gonna need it. A little more playable, but we're still getting dips into the 40s. We're not hitting the there it is, 30s, yay. We're just still limited by these CPUs. It's nice having the 4-core 8-thread, and I will say this is more playable. It wasn't like this performance upgrade was like totally worthless, but it does feel like no matter what, we're on a platform that the CPU is gonna be the problem, especially in this game. If we had a better CPU, that 1070 would have a little more performance under its hood, but even then we're swinging around only using 50% of the GPU and hitting 100% of that i7. So again, if you think about it in modern terms, this i7 is equal to an 10 Gen i3, but it's a T processor, so it's already gonna be slower than that. So just for the fun of it, I know people always say in the comments, if your base frame rate is below 60, you definitely shouldn't install FrameGen because it's gonna cause problems. I say install, use FrameGen. Use FrameGen, it's gonna cause problems, but I'm here, so like I might as well turn FrameGen on and just see what happens, right? It's actually working better than I expected, I'll be honest with you.
Doesn't look too bad.
It still looks kind of gross because of the lower details, but this is at least 60 FPS now. Before when we did FrameGen, I think everything broke. That's what happened when we turned FrameGen on, the game crashed and said it was overheating.
Yeah.
But it's not overheating now. So that's nice, right?
Oh, look, with FrameGen, our CPU's at 100% now.
Yeah, look at that.
It's still like not doing much. It's like below its base frequency right now.
Yeah, it's at 2.4. So I'm wondering if this board is just really holding it back. It should not be thermal throttling at these temperatures though, unless it's a really, really strict temperature that's baked into the motherboard. There's really no changes you can do to it in the BIOS from what we've seen. So all in all, I think this is more playable. We'll run those built-in benchmarks just to see if there's any more of a performance uplift, but I have a feeling this upgrade was not necessarily the best price performance, but we did it anyways in the sake of science, just to see what it's all about. And the sake of science, let's run those other built-in benchmarks and then come to a conclusion about the upgrade of the ZBOX now that we've tore it apart, put it back together partially, and see what it can do with an upgrade.
So after doing some more benchmarks and a little bit more money put into this ZBOX, we can kind of say that it seems like there's some interesting limitations with the Zotac system itself.
We'll show you guys some side-by-side benchmarks with the system before we upgraded it and after we upgraded it, and you guys at home can decide whether or not it was worth the upgrade and the price performance. First, the S2 1080p low settings with the PC before the upgrade, we got an average of 159.7 with 1% low of 82.9, and after we got an average of 181.5, but the 1% low was only 69. So the issue with the fluctuating clock speed here may be a problem in terms of getting the 1% lows and stutter that we did see throughout the benchmark, so something to keep an eye on. Black Myth Wukong 1080p low settings with 66% render scale before got an average of 62, max of 73, minimum of 40, while after it got an average of 62, a max of 74, and a minimum of 42. It is technically up, but not a major improvement.
And for 3D Mark Time Spy, before we got a score of 4,893, which is 6 cents per point, at that original $300 price point, but then obviously we had to put quite a bit of money into the system, so then we looked at a new score of 5,105, which is a pretty good increase, but that moved all the way up to 9 cents per point. So yeah, I mean, you know, the upgrades, I think if this was just a desktop, I think we would have seen a really big performance increase because that i7 should be able to boost to like 3.6 gigahertz. We should be able to pull like 45 watts, but as you guys saw in the benchmarks, we were almost never even doing anywhere near that. So I think this system was either just thermal throttling or for some reason wattage throttling.
So all in all, that concludes our experiment with the ZBOX. It's a really cool mini PC from an era where mini PCs weren't super popular, and you can upgrade it with, well, somewhat modern hardware, get that 4-core 8-threaded processor. But I want to hear from you guys. If you had a ZBOX at home, would you upgrade it for the price that we paid? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you have a ZBOX or want to buy one yourself, check our links in the description down below. They will be affiliate links. They will help us out.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
So this PC right here will be for sale at PCBros.tech, even with those upgrades, and don't worry, we'll make sure it's a good price.
PCBros.tech, we sell mini PCs like this and full desktops and even gaming laptops. Whatever you want, PC Bros has got you covered. Use code ToastyBros on checkout. You'll save 3% on your next purchase. See you guys there. Bye-bye.